Okay, students, on this clip we're going to be going over an example on how to generate the graph of a conic given an equation in general form. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down the instruction for the notes. We are to write the conic with the given equation in standard form. Find the center and radius. Find the center and radius graph. Label, then state the domain and range of the graph of the function. Okay, all right, so for this problem we're going to consider the example number 1, x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 4y minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so you have to note that this equation, this is known as a general form. Okay, this is a general form, and the first task is to convert it into standard form. All right, you gotta write it in standard form first. After accomplishing that, then we will graph it, label, and then state the domain and range. Okay, so in order to convert this into general standard form, first thing we have to do is we have to collect like variables together and then move the constant to the other side. So let's combine, put the x's next to each other. So we have an x squared and a negative 4x. We put them next to each other. X squared minus 4x. They're on the same side of the equation, so the signs do not change. Okay, now these two will form the incomplete square for the x world, and then we're gonna have the y squared and the 4y. Put them next to each other. Plus y squared plus 4y. Now this one right here is neither an x nor y, it's a constant, so we need to move it over to the other side, alright? So we'll use the inverse of minus 1, so we add 1 to both sides. So this whole equation equals 1. Alright, now what we're going to do is divvy down the center, and we're going to factor by grouping, okay? So breaking down the center, actually not factor by grouping, I'm sorry, we're going to complete the square. So these two quantities is an incomplete square, this is an incomplete square. To create a perfect square trinomial, what we have to do is we're going to add b over 2 square. That's a formula for completing the square, okay? So in my x world, I have, this is my a, which is 1, and this is b, which is 4. And then in the y world, this is a, is 1, and then b is 4, okay? All right, so for the x world, b for the x is negative 4. Now what do I do with negative 4? The formula asks you to divide that by 2 and square it. So if I divide this by 2, I get negative 2, and then when I square it, my final answer is 4. Alright? So 4 completes the square in the x world. In essence, if I put it here, I have x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now I have a perfect square trinomial in my x world. Alright? Now for the x world, for the y world, we'll do the same procedure. B for the x is 4. What do I do with that? Well, the formula says to complete the square, we just do b over 2 squared. So I'll divide this by 2, we'll have 2. And if I square that, I get 4. Okay, so by adding 4 to this, y world right here, y squared plus 4y plus 4, I created a perfect square trinomial. Okay? Alright, equals 1. Now since I added 4 and a 4 to the left side of the equation to preserve equality, I have to add the same thing to the right side. So I have to add 4 and then add 4. Okay? Alright. So now since this is a perfect square trinomial, we can just use a factoring trick. We take the square root of the first term And the last term, bring down the middle sign, and that's the factored form. So the factored form is going to be x minus 2 quantity squared plus, now here we're going to do the same procedure. We'll take the square root of the first and the last and bring down the middle sign. And in that case, we're going to have y plus 2 quantity squared. Okay? And then we have 1 plus 4 plus 4 is 1 plus 8, which is 9. So the equation x minus 2 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 9. This is the standard form. Okay? The standard form. Now what we're going to do next is find the radius and the center. Alright, let's find the center first. Center, you get the opposite of the number next to the x, which is 2, and the opposite of the number next to the y, which is negative 2. And then the radius is the square root of the number on the right side of the equation. Square root of 9 is 3, so we're going to go 3 units up, down, to the right, and to the left. Okay? So that's how we're going to graph it. Alright, let's go ahead and graph a circle, and then we'll go ahead and find the domain and range. So we're going to go 2 to the right and down 2. So our center is going to be in the 4th quadrant. So let's make that a little bit bigger than the rest. Now there goes my coordinate system. Let's label our axis. This is my y-axis. And this is my x-axis. Center is 2, negative 2. So I go 1, 2, and down 1, 2. 2, negative 2. So I'm going to go 3 in all directions. So 1, 2, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3 up, and 1, 2, 3 downwards. Okay, so 3 in all directions, and there you have your circle. All right, so let's go ahead and graph the circle. So there you have it. All right, so let's label the radius of our circle from the center to the extremity. That is the radius. And the measure is 3 units, okay? And this right here, that's your center. And the coordinates of your center are 2 and negative 2, okay? All right, now let's take the domain and the range. So the domain is the horizontal span of your graph. So I just take the leftmost point, I'll project it to my x-axis going up. So that's negative 1. And then the rightmost point, I'll project it to my y-axis or x-axis also. That's starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes from negative 1 to 5. So let's write out an equality. So the domain is negative 1 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so remember, your domain is a horizontal span. Now, the vertical span of the graph will basically tell us what the range is, okay? So we need to find the range. And just note that it's along the y-axis, okay? So let's project this to our y-axis. So this goes like this, That's 1 on the y-axis. Let me erase the x so we don't get confused. So now I'm looking for my y-axis projection. So if I trace it down this way, that's 1 on my y-axis. That's the highest point. How low can you go starting from 0? Well, let's trace it project it to the y-axis first. So starting from 0, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. Okay? So if you want to write down the range, make sure you keep track of the order. The smallest one comes first. Negative 5 is less than or equal to y, and y is less than or equal to 1. Okay? So this is the vertical span of your graph, and this is the horizontal span of the graph. All right? So there you have it. All right, so thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. You can feel free to subscribe to this channel so you can get updates to more cool clips on math such as this. To subscribe, you can just click up here for under subscribe. And then you can also feel free to share the contents of this video with your friends via Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. More collection of clips can be found on myandroidsurf.com. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.